Kennedy. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. So I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Natasha Duggal, and I'm a grad student at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, and I work under the supervision of Dr. Lindenfield. She's my supervisor. So anything we do today, she's going to be supervising that. So before we get started, I just wanted to go over a few things with you. First, I wanted to mention that anything we do today is going to be recorded, and this has to do with Dr. Linfield just giving me feedback on my performance and how I can better help you in the session and going forward. So I just wanted to get your permission and make sure it's okay for me to record the session.
Yeah.
Okay, did you have any questions about that?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. You had questions about that?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover with you is confidentiality. What that means is anything you say or we discuss today is going to be completely confidential and no one else is going to hear about it except for me and what I discussed with Dr. Lindenfield. So I just want you to feel comfortable with that everything's going to be kept private. But with that being said, there are a few limitations to confidentiality that I want you to be aware about before we start. So the first one would be if I have any reason to believe that you are at imminent risk of harming yourself or harming someone else, at that point, I would have to do something to intervene just to make sure everyone is safe. The second limitation would be is if I have reason to believe that a vulnerable person is at risk of harm, such as an elderly person, a disabled person, a child. I am a mandated reporter, so I would have to report that if I'm made aware of that in any of our sessions. And the last limit would be if anytime during our time together in therapy you become involved in a legal case or a court case, they could mandate your records, and I would be legally obligated to release those. But I would try my best to keep as much confidential as I could.
Okay.
With those three limits, do you have any questions about those? No. Okay. And that's about it. I just wanted to remind you that everything else is confidential except those limitations, and we can go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So I just wanted to start off with asking, what brought you in today?
So I just feel like over the past couple of months, I've just been more tired and finding it difficult to get out of bed and get my day started.
Okay, and you said past couple of months. When did this start? July. Okay. And you said you're feeling tired and having difficulty getting out of bed. Is there some other reason that might be the cause of this? Not getting enough sleep? How are your sleep patterns?
I feel like I've been just sleeping more, and so my sleep habits are good. I just feel like I'm tired all the time. Like I'll come home from work, and if I can sneak in a nap before my fiance gets home, I do that. I'm going to bed pretty early. I'm getting about 12 hours of sleep on a regular basis, including a nap, or if I just go to bed, I could really sleep. So it's sleep. And what was your other question?
Well, I wanted to ask with your sleep, no matter how much you're sleeping, you feel you're still tired throughout the day, even after getting about an adequate amount of sleep?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. Have there been any changes in your appetite?
I think I've just been eating kind of like more crap as opposed to like eating healthy. I really used to kind of like pride myself on like having like a good lunch, and just like what I put into my body is really important. And more recently, I'm just like over the past couple of months, I don't feel like prepping my food, or I'm just looking for kind of like the easy way out. So like I'll eat like a grilled cheese for lunch instead of the salad that I would normally pack, and go to the cafeteria. If I come home, I'd rather order like eat in with my fiance or get takeout.
Okay, but you are getting like adequate amount of food.
Oh yeah, I'm
right?
definitely eating enough. Yeah,
eating enough. Okay, but you just feel like you don't have like the energy to make like your healthy meals, and like you're just eating kind of just
crap. Yeah.
Okay. And you're feeling tired throughout the day. You're feeling fatigued. Have you lost any with your fatigue and not feeling like tired all the time and stuff like that? Have you felt that you've lost interest in some of maybe your hobbies or activities that you would normally do?
Yeah, definitely. It takes a lot to kind of like get started. I still do things on the weekend with my fiance, but it's, I think if it were up to me, I wouldn't be doing those things. I think I'm just kind of trying to save face or hold face with him and not really let him kind of catch on to how I'm feeling.
Well, can you tell me like what some of your hobbies were before and like what you liked?
So I liked running and working out, going to the gym. I would do that either running or going to the gym about 4 times a week. I do like kind of eating clean and just watching what I eat. I like cooking, and my fiance and I used to like prep a lot of like cool dinners together, and we get new recipes, and that was fun. But now it just like seems like so much work to do those things. Yeah, I like kind of going for walks. We hike still. Big fan of Shenandoah. And we camp on the weekends because my fiance likes to camp. But so those things haven't really changed, but the things that I would do, like, that's changed a little bit.
And you were saying how like you guys are interested in like just eating clean and working out and stuff like that. Has that been typical for you for most of your life, or it's just a new thing, or?
I think since I was like in college, I put on a little weight when I first got there, and then just kind of realized how it feels to eat healthy. So it's like just like something I became really like into.
Okay. So that's pretty typical for you since college.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to talk about something else. I want to change topics for a second. I want to ask you how you feel about yourself, your self-worth, and how you feel about yourself when you're feeling low and tired.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe I deserve to feel like this.
Okay.
I don't know.
Can you explain a little bit more?
Kind of like maybe I'm just not one of those people who's like deserving of being happy. So,
do you feel guilty when you are happy? When you have moments of happiness?
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Okay. You just feel like you don't deserve it.
I mean, I just feel like it's not permanent.
Okay.
So.
And why? Can you explain a little bit more why you think that would not be permanent for you?
Oh, because this is like not the first time I felt like this.
Okay.
So.
When was the first time you felt like this?
When I was 18, as like an adult, that was the first time I felt like this as an adult. But like as a kid, like my parents divorced when I was 10, so I feel like that. I don't know. My mom described me as like a down kid or like a sad kid, and so maybe like after the divorce, I was like this, but I didn't feel, and I also don't remember really when I was 10. So I don't know. But yeah, 18 as an adult.
18 as an adult and 10 as a kid when you were feeling these feelings of like tiredness, low mood, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely when I was 18, but as a kid, I just kind of like spending time by myself and doing my own thing.
When you were 18, do you remember how long these feelings lasted? A year or two?
Yeah.
And as a kid, I know it was a little bit different, but do you know how long that lasted?
I don't know. There was a lot going on. Like my parents had just divorced. My grandmother was sick. She had Alzheimer's, so she was kind of like slowly fading. And then she died when I was 12, so I think that definitely impacted. She and I were very close. So
how did you feel when that was going on?
Well, I felt like I lost my grandmother, and it was hard. And she was there through so many big events when I was younger, so not having her and watching her kind of slowly go was hard.
How were you able to like recover from that? And
my mom, when I was 10, I started therapy, but that was because of the divorce. I don't know. I guess I spent some time by myself after it.
Okay, so you said you got therapy at 10 because of the divorce. Do you think that helped?
No, I couldn't wait to stop therapy, if I'm being honest. Yeah. My mom said I could stop going after 6 months unless I wanted to go back, and at that point I was good.
Can you tell me why you wanted to stop therapy, or why you felt like it wasn't helping?
I just didn't get what the point was.
Okay.
Like, why are we going to talk about sad things? My parents divorced. Why do we have to keep talking about it?
Is that the only time you've ever sought therapy outside of this time?
As a kid, that was the only time, and then when I was 23.
Okay. Tell me about that time.
So I was seeing an ACT therapist, and I saw her for about a year, but I don't really feel like I got anything from it. So, yeah.
Why was that? Was that because you possibly didn't connect with the person you were with?
I mean, the connection I think wasn't there. I'd also been in treatment for, like, I'd gotten, like, meds put on. I feel like the meds did more for me than therapy.
I don't know if you're able to remember this, but do you know what meds you were prescribed?
I was on Wellbutrin, 150 milligrams.
150 milligrams?
Mm-hmm.
And what was your dosage? Like, how often were you?
I was taking it every morning when I first
morning?
woke up.
How did being on those medications make you feel?
Good. I felt a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you currently on it right now?
No, I stopped a year ago.
How did you stop?
Because I felt good.
You felt good?
Yeah. I felt like I was better and
Mm-hmm.
my symptoms were gone, so why did I have to be on it?
Okay. Is that the only medications you've been on?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you on any other current medications right now?
I take like a multivitamin.
Okay, so nothing. I also want to switch gears again. So I want to ask you, has there any, in the periods where you had these like feelings of tiredness and low mood and just lack of interest in some of your activities, have you felt, or have you had thoughts or recurring thoughts of maybe harming yourself or possibly taking measures to end your life or anything like that? Yeah. When was the first time? 18. And this was during that long period of time where you were just feeling like that for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever make a plan, or was there a plan that you...
I don't think I ever got that far, but the thoughts were there. Just, it would be so much easier if I wasn't around. I wouldn't have to make any of these like big decisions. I wouldn't have to like feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
The world would be a better place without me.
Mm-hmm. And those were just recurring thoughts you had throughout that period.
I couldn't think of anything that would definitely like solidly end my life, and I didn't want to be incapacitated if I failed doing that. So I just, yeah.
Okay. Are there any other times outside of 18 where you've had thoughts about that?
No, I was 23.
23. Okay. And this was when you were in therapy?
It was before
therapy.
Yeah, so that time, the reason I started therapy was because my fiance, boyfriend at the time, and I were driving, and we were arguing, and I remember we're in the car, we're driving down this like kind of quiet road, and we're arguing back and forth, and he couldn't even tell you what we were talking about, but I just got really like uncomfortable, and just like my heart was pounding, and I just felt really anxious, and it just felt like there was no way out, and my life would be better if I wasn't here anymore, and I just couldn't think straight, and forgot what he said, but at that point I just kind of opened the car door and pushed myself out.
Okay. How did that, were you okay? What happened
So
after that?
I didn't have to go to the hospital. I was like scratched up. I didn't break anything or hit my head, although at the time I wished I did. I just kind of didn't want to be around anymore. But yeah.
So you said you went to the hospital, or you didn't?
I did not.
You did not? Okay. And your boyfriend was there when it happened. Was your family there?
No.
No. How do you think your family would feel?
My dad would be pissed.
Yeah.
My dad would be pissed. My mom, I think, would just be sad. Or wondering why I felt like I needed to do that.
Yeah. Tell me more about your parents, about you growing up, how your family life was with your dad, your relationship with your mom growing up.
So like as a kid before they got divorced, it was like a normal family life, I guess. Like my mom and dad lived in the same house, and I had like we would go on vacations, and just it was like good. And then they started fighting a lot, and I was like 7 or 8, and so they got divorced. And 2 years after, my dad was remarried to this woman that I don't like, and I have a half brother and a half sister who I'm not in contact with. I don't like them, and only are in contact when I need to be. My dad definitely like is a better father to those kids, and I think financially he supports me, and that's the extent of our relationship.
Okay. I want to ask why you don't like his new family or his new wife and his kids.
I don't know. They get more time with him, maybe, or I just don't think they're just don't like them.
Have you ever tried to reach out to your dad? Has he ever tried to reach out to you?
We
since
like
this?
are in contact.
Okay.
Like he sends me money. He's helping me with the wedding. When I was in college, he like supported me, paid for my college. Like I said, I think the extent to our relationship is that he wasn't supporting me financially. I don't think I would have any reason to talk to him.
And has he been made aware of how you feel?
I mean, I'm sure he kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has some insight to it, but at the same time, I think he feels guilty, and that's why he continues to send me money.
And what about your relationship with your mom?
So my mom and I mean, we had a closer relationship. She used to be my best friend. She was like my best friend.